I can still recall the exact second betrayal struck. The conference room reeked of stale coffee and cheap ambition. My slides filled the screen. 6 sleepless weeks distilled into clean numbers, every detail double-checked, every idea my own. But when the applause came, it wasn't mine. It was his. My boss leaned back in his chair, one hand on the table, the other resting on my work, draped over him like a tailored suit. "I pushed my team hard," he said, pausing just long enough to seem noble. "And this is what I delivered." I delivered. That was the first crack beneath my feet. The second arrived 2 days later in my paycheck, slashed to a third, wrapped in a polite email that dressed it as budget restructuring. Something inside me shifted that day. I didn't explode. I didn't confront. I went still. He hadn't always been like this. When we first met, he shook my hand with a grip that nearly convinced me. He told me I reminded him of his younger self. Hungry, ambitious, relentless. I thought I'd found a mentor. I thought he saw me. He did, just not the way I hoped. The compliments turned into requests. The requests into demands. The demands into obligations. By the time I realized he wasn't lifting me up but standing on my back, it was already too late. But I don't blame myself for trusting him. Trust isn't weakness, unless it's handed to the wrong hands. The evidence came slow, piece by piece. My code, published under his name. My reports, rewarded in his voice. Meeting invites that somehow never reached me, only for my ideas to appear, pitched without me there. Each theft was a paper cut, never fatal on its own. He wanted me alive, useful, invisible, until the paycheck. That wasn't just theft. That was an erasure. That night, staring at the numbers, I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I planned. Revenge doesn't burn hot. It waits in silence. I started collecting. Every file, every email, every timestamp. Not for ego, for evidence. A trail even the blind could follow. He was careless in his greed, convinced I was too broken to notice. Then came my resignation letter, short, polite, respectful. I thanked him for his leadership. I even wished him luck. He'd skim it, smirk, toss it aside. But it wasn't for him. It was for the name I placed carefully in the CC line. The CEO, not the figurehead in press releases, but the founder, the man who built the company from a garage and despised parasites more than failure. That single CC was a trigger. My resignation, the bullet. The next morning, I walked into the office like nothing had happened. He was in the glass meeting room, charming a client with that same stolen smile. Then his phone buzzed. From my desk, I watched the color drain from his face. His lips moved silently, rereading the email again and again, as if the words might rearrange themselves. The client kept talking. He didn't hear a word. When the CEO appeared in the doorway, expression carved in stone, I knew the game was over. No shouting, no questions, just a gesture, 2 fingers summoning him. My boss followed like a man walking to the gallows. The fallout was swift. By noon, his name was erased from the directory. By evening, whispers burned through the halls. Mishandled contracts, stolen credit, misplaced funds. The files I kept spoke louder than I ever could. And me? I was already gone. My resignation stood. I didn't stay to savor it. Didn't need to. My silence was a victory. I think back on that day sometimes. On the moment he realized the walls weren't closing on me, but on him. The look in his eyes when he understood that the one he thought disposable had already set the knife at his throat. People asked if it felt good. It didn't feel good. It felt right. Justice doesn't scream. It whispers. And when it whispers loud enough, even the powerful turn pale. That was my revenge. Not fire. Not fury. Just a quiet email. A single CC. And a man choking on his own greed. And the best part? He never saw me smile.